Hi, and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. Now, I tell you what I've noticed again today, that it's been kicking off again in Paris, hasn't it? Because there's been consecutive weekends now of protest that keeps getting bigger and bigger against this proposed global security bill that Macron is trying to push through under the back of these lockdowns and the pandemic. Or this draconian law is attempted to be imposed on the French people, okay? And I was reading an article when I got home. It was quite disturbing, really. Now, I'm going to read you some of that article, and I'll leave the link in the description as always, and then I'm going to show you a bit of footage on that, because it makes quite disturbing viewing, to be honest. And again, it's just one of those things where you read and you see and you think, am I watching this? Is this Paris that I'm looking at? You know, I mean, we're not talking about some far-flung corner of the world under some, supposed despotic regime. We're talking about Europe, for God's sake. You know, just over the water. You know, I mean, it's just incredible. So, let me just go and show you what I was reading. So, as I said, I'll leave the link in the description. This is on CTV News. Nearly 150 arrested at Paris protest over security bill, the global security bill. And this is the December the 12th, 2020. So this is today, okay? And that's obviously, you know, the vast number of people that have turned out. Paris police took nearly 150 people into custody at what quickly became a tense, sometimes ill-tempered protests Saturday against the proposed security laws, with officers wading into the crowds of several thousand to haul away suspected troublemakers. Police targeted protesters they suspected might be coalesced together into violent groups, those who vandalised stores and vehicles and attacked officers at previous demonstrations. The Interior Minister, now the Interior Minister is Gerard Damanin, isn't it? Because we know that from that previous story about Michael Zeclet, which we'll get to in a moment. The Interior Minister said police detained 142 people, long lines of riot officers and police vehicles with blue lights flashing escorted Saturday's march through rain-slackened streets. They hemmed in protesters seeking to prevent the flare-up of violence that marked many of the previous demonstrations. So I'm not going to read the whole article, you can read the rest of it yourself. But, you know, it's been kicking off again in Paris. And we're reading now about police targeting suspected troublemakers, wading into the crowd and arresting them. And we're seeing more and more, wherever we look, be it in the UK, France, Germany, Denmark, all over Europe, you know, and elsewhere, this heavy-handed, you know, draconian enforcement of rules and new laws that have just been passed everywhere. And this is, you know, one of the reasons that's made me start to think months and months and months ago, what the hell is going on? Because there's too many things now that are just happening everywhere. Not just here, all over the place. And as I've said previously, less than 12 months ago, these type of things had been regarded as wild conspiracies. Yet here we are in the 12th of December 2020, and this is the norm. This is the norm, okay? And people wonder why I'm concerned about what the hell's going on and asking some questions and encouraging other people to think about what's going on and ask questions, you know? And, you know, I find myself being censored and stuff when I'm talking about things like this, you know? But yet this is all out in the public domain, and it's amazing, isn't it, that it's Arno TV again talking about it kicking off for another weekend in Paris, and in the BBC we hear nothing about it. In fact, if you go onto the BBC's website, I'm reading a big article about it here, What's the you know, the volume of text that the BBC, you know, will give to this? That, okay, that pathetic bit of text there is what they'll give to it, and a video that, you know, is definitely something that the BBC will broadcast, let's put it that way. I'll leave the link in the description, you can go watch it yourself, but I ain't playing them on Arno TV, okay? So, let me go to what I found, because I found a clip on what obviously the Sun had broadcast on it, okay? And when they say about targeting troublemakers, you know, I'm going to show you something that's quite disturbing, really. That this is the type of thing that's now going on. And this is the type of thing that's not just going on here, it's going on all over the place. And we're talking, as I said, about Paris, for God's sake. We're not talking about, you know, some far-flung corner of the world, like I said. This is a European capital city. And this is the kind of thing that's going on in 2020. So this is the new normal that everybody's talking about. Okay, so let me just turn the music down. And you know, I mean, it's just disturbing anyway. So let me just show you what, you know, police targeting suspected troublemakers looks like. This is what it looks like. Quite sinister. As I said, what's about to happen, I think, is quite sinister in terms of targeting people. Targeting suspected troublemakers, it said, didn't it? Well, this is Macron. And what, you know, maybe he wants to happen under the global security bill. This is what they mean by targeting people. This is what they mean by targeting people, is it? It's very sinister viewing, doesn't it? Doesn't it? And this is what's going on today in Paris. So, you know, it makes us all feel so safe knowing that things like this are going on just over the water in Paris. I mean, what on earth is going on, people? I mean, are people starting to understand now why I've been saying what on earth is going on? Because this kind of thing is going on all over the place. And let's not forget as well, you know, the recent videos we showed you on Arno TV about that shocking arrest of music producer Michael Zaclair, okay, who was targeted because he wasn't wearing a mask in the street, where police followed him home and beat him with truncheons, punched him in the face several times, and then tear-gassed him. And this is the kind of thing that's been going on the back of these lockdowns that have been going on everywhere, local, national or otherwise, and the back of the pandemic. And isn't it strange? You know, when we start, you know, some of the things that I've been talking about, you know, that I've noticed now, even some of the broadcasters that I've thought of at least been trying to question things in this this pandemic and this crisis we've been in. I've heard murmurings from their directions that they start talking about certain things that now are quite obviously going on because they're in the public domain and people are writing books about them and they're openly declaring what they want to do. These journalists now, even them, I start talking about this kind of thing, like the Great Reset and the Fourth Industrial Revolution, as conspiracy theories. But it's very strange, isn't it, that there are conspiracy these things, but people like Klaus Schwab seem to be cropping up everywhere around the world all the time on the back of everything that's going on in all these countries, and writing books about it and telling you that they're, you know, wanting to use the pandemic to push the fourth industrial revolution and the Great Reset faster. So, but if you talk about things like this, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's very interesting times we're living in, really is. I didn't really want to bring him specifically into this because we're talking about Paris, but like I said, it's very interesting, isn't it? When we look around the world, all the same people keep cropping up, like Schwab and Gates, you know, and Neil Ferguson. You know, they all keep cropping up here, there and everywhere, don't they? Strange, isn't it? The times we live in these days. But that is what's been going on this weekend in Paris. So, you know, we've had consecutive weekends now in Paris where it's been kicking off over this global security bill, okay, that Macron is pushing, okay? And, you know, I just wanted to let people know that that's what's going on in Paris this weekend, because you're not going to hear about it, you know, as I said, anywhere else. But it's just a sad state of affairs that this is where we're at the end of this year. Because if we'd have known that at the start of this year, I think we'd all wish we'd have hibernated for the whole year, you know. But, you know, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe to the channel. And once you do, please ring the notification bell so I can notify you of forthcoming videos that I'm going to put out. And as I said, there's going to be a lot more coming, because with all this going on, there's definitely plenty to talk about, people, isn't there? So I'll be back soon, but until I am, I want you all to look after each other, yourselves, your friends, your family and your loved ones. And, you know, obviously, as I keep saying, please check in on people and make sure they're all right and their mental health's good and everything else, because these are very crazy times, and, you know, people can feel incredibly isolated. So, you know, make sure you check in on people. I'll be back soon. Until I am, I want everyone to stay rock and roll, take care, and enjoy the rest of your evening.